As you might have seen in my previous video, How Will the Sun Die?, I mentioned that the sun is going to become a white dwarf in around 5 billion years. Or that's the current theory as to what's going to happen to the sun. But what exactly is a white dwarf? A white dwarf, in short, is the remnant of a star that collapsed. Now, it would be a star that isn't big enough to become a black hole or a neutron star. A white dwarf that forms from our sun is going to be a lot smaller than our sun. To give some perspective, a white dwarf that will form from our sun is theorized to approximately be just a little bit bigger than the Earth. Yet, this white dwarf will also have half the mass of the sun. So white dwarfs are also incredibly dense, far denser than a star. So imagine an object that is around the same size as the Earth, just a little bit bigger, yet it has 200,000 times the mass of the Earth. White dwarfs also burn very, very hot, reaching over 100,000 degrees Kelvin. But they do not burn forever. White dwarfs actually cool down over time, and in fact, the current leading theory for what happens to a white dwarf over an incredibly long period of time is that a white dwarf will likely cool down and become a black dwarf star. Black dwarf stars are hypothetical, cold remnants of stars, essentially the final form of a star. Black dwarfs are still considered to be hypothetical objects, though. And the reason being that no one has ever detected a black dwarf star. We also don't predict that anyone will ever detect a black dwarf star because the current theory behind black dwarf stars suggests that black dwarf stars will take an incredibly long time to form. Quite literally, the universe has not existed for long enough for a black dwarf to emerge. Current estimates suggest that it will take around 10 to the 15th power years for the first black dwarf stars to form.